the poo candy ass.
Here's my third candy ass video in a row, and I got a lot to say about these people. Now, by now, everyone knows that Raphael Warnock, Democrat of Georgia, won his bid for re-election in the Senate, defeating Herschel Walker, representing, of course, Donald Trump. But what's really frightening, and what should frighten you, me, and everyone else in this country, is the fact that Herschel Walker got, at last count, 1,719,376 votes. That's nearly half the entire state of Georgia. And that should frighten you as it does me. So my Candya video today is going to be about those 1.7 million people who voted for Herschel Walker. Now, the fact is this. You know, these people, we all know what Herschel Walker was. He was a great football player, but that was over 30, almost 40 years ago. We all know that he was endorsed by Donald Trump, which should have been the red flag for everyone in this country. We should have known, honestly, that this insanity should have ended the first accusation of paying for abortions should have ended it right there, but it didn't. The real problem I have with all of it, is the fact that the very people who voted for Donald Trump, for Herschel Walker in this runoff, are the very people who espouse anti-abortionism all the livelong day, even after credible evidence was shown that Walker paid for at least one or two, maybe even three abortions. Now again, these are allegations, but the evidence looks very bad on his side. And the constant chattering that Walker was pushing out over and over and over again, week after week, month after month, since the endorsement from Donald Trump came down. He's offered no solutions to the problems that Republicans are screaming about over and over again that got him control of the House of Representatives and Congress. Just like any other Republican, they complain, they whine, they whine. But when it comes down to actually doing something or suggesting to do something, they are silent. They say nothing. And the question is, why? Why would you vote for someone who's giving you no idea of what he's going to do if he becomes a senator or a congressman or anything else in politics? The only reason why Herschel Walker got these 1.7 million votes is because he was endorsed by, of course, Donald Trump. That's the only reason. That is the only reason why. Everything else, they could care less. So who cares if he treated his family like garbage? Donald Trump did, and he became president. Who cares if he got he allegedly paid for abortions? Who cares? Isn't that right, Dana Loach, who said months ago when this whole story broke that he doesn't care if he paid some skank to get an abortion? Her words, not mine, hers. You knew this, just like you did about Donald Trump. You knew this going in about who Herschel Walker was. You probably thought, and more to the point, his own campaign said, people in his family said, don't run for the Senate because all of it is going to come out. He ignored them, thinking he owes Donald Trump something, and he got his ass kicked. Herschel Walker should have walked away the first second those allegations came up about how he treated his family. He should have gone away the minute he tried to cover up the alleged payments of abortions by sitting next to Lindsey Graham, saying that they want a nationwide ban on abortion regardless of the circumstances or reasons. It should have ended right there. It should have ended every second he opened his mouth in one of his rallies, talking about werewolves and vampires, whatever the hell that is all about. But instead, it continued on, and over 1.7 million Americans in the runoff, mind you, on December the 6th, nearly put this man into the Senate. Thank God it didn't happen. But I have to give Herschel some points on some things. One, his concession speech, saying we went out there, we did our best, and we lost. It's too bad that Donald Trump didn't do the same after 2020. But that's neither near or there. Georgia voters, is this really the man you wanted to represent the Senate? Georgia voters, is this the man is this the person is this the acceptable black man, as I keep hearing from so many Republicans out there? Is this the man you accept as African American? I don't accept it, and neither should you. Donald Trump picked this man just for the sake of the sake, because he thinks it's going to cover up his racism and his followers' racism. It didn't. And it backfired in the worst possible way just days later, when he was breaking bread with an anti-Semite, Kanye West, Yeezy, Yee, and a racist, Nazi, Nick Fuentes. Every time you Republicans try to cover up the fact that you're a hateful people, it backfires in the worst possible ways, as it did in the Georgia Senate runoff. But I'm looking for an explanation as to why you would vote for this man who hasn't given you a reason to vote for him. What, because he's a native son of Georgia? We all know that's a lie. Why, because he was a great football player at the University of Georgia? He was. But that's a far cry from being a senator. But the fact is this: you voted for him because you didn't know any better, and that to me tells me more than anything else can. You should be ashamed of yourselves for embracing them. So, Georgia voters who voted for Herschel Walker, you are a bunch of nothing better than
a Rudy Poo Candy ass.
CTP. Know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.